What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tuck Rule
Yeah,
Takes, episode 51. Now, 51 is a very special number. Most
it
people
is.
would say this is the Gerard Mayo episode. It was number 51, but no. This is the Ronnie Perkins episode of Tuck Rule Takes. Ronnie Perkins is number 51. He has not played this year. That's probably why the Patriots linebacking core has sucked, because their savior. I can only compare him, Liam. You know how you feel about Cam Newton?
I mean,
That's
probably the same way that all the Arabs think of Allah and whatnot.
exactly. So Ronnie Perkins is my Allah. So this is episode 51. Did you think that I was going to say Ronnie Perkins?
I really thought that we were going to go offensive lineman for the first one, then we were going to throw all our love into Gerard Mayo because that's
Yeah.
that's my underrated lockdown Patriots player of the last decade.
Yeah. No, Gerard Mayo. Currently, he's a coach. Who's he a coach for?
Patriots, you
The
jackwagon.
Patriots, exactly. That's why I there's been talk about people being upset that players keep coming back and coaches coming back, and it's like maybe because
There has been
good. But
some
anyways,
murmurs.
this is Tuck Rule Takes, episode 51, coming off episode 50, the big half century mark. Liam, I know you're doing well. I'm doing well. Do you know why? We're coming off a Ravens game. Oh, no, not a Ravens game, a Green Bay Packers game. This is eerily similar to last year.
Yeah.
Very eerily similar to last year, because last season Patriots ended up 1-3, heartbreaking loss to the Bucks, a game that coming out of it was we don't take moral victories, but X, Y, and Z. There was a questionable call at the end of the game of that Bucks game. You go for it on fourth? Do you kick it? What do you do? There were question marks in this game. And then the Patriots then went 2-4. They lost to the Cowboys, so bring them to 2-4. Then they rattled off 7 games. So Patriots are in a good spot. But Liam, Green Bay, overall thoughts before we dive in. How you feeling? Where do you want to start with this? Because there is a lot. This game felt like it took years off of my life. How long
it was tension that you could cut with a knife.
Mm-hmm.
Palpable tension from start to finish. It was fantastic. I said it. I meant it. I'm here to represent it. I'm here for it. I loved it.
Rhymes.
The Patriots are a good fucking team. I don't want to hear anything else, any slander, any criticism. This is a good fucking team. And I realized we have been a good team this entire 1-3 stretch. The only reason we have not won more games is truly quarterback play. We criticized Mac Jones when he came out and kind of stunk against the Steelers. He was not great, not atrocious.
Miami, not too good, not great, not bad.
Yeah. But if we got even Mac Jones of last year, I'd say we're 2-2, maybe 3-1
at worst. Yeah. I think 2-2 at worst. Yeah.
But he's just taken some unnecessary shots.
Mm-hmm.
In this game here, Brian Hoyer doesn't get a chance to play, really. He's in there for, a careless whisper. Yeah, exactly. And then he's out. Our third string rookie, 4th round pick from some no-name school comes in toe-to-toe. And I was thinking about this. I was talking with my buddy. Playing our high school rival, the tension, the nerves that you would get up playing a high school rival, this dude, a rookie 4th rounder, his college competition paled in comparison to the Green Bay Packers, who he had to play being led by 3 or maybe 4-time MVP Aaron Rodgers. In Lambeau.
What?
And then to go to overtime. Granted, by that point, the Patriots offense had kind of dissipated. Overall, though, this is a fucking fantastic team. Fucking fantastic is a little over-exaggerated. This is a damn good team.
Yes.
With, once again, every time we have to come up here and say this, Bill Belichick is the greatest coach, and it's not close.
It's not
every time. I talk to all my customers, customer after customer, saying the Patriots are going to get smoked. This is going to be ugly. I don't know about this one. I just had a feeling. I'm like, every time they expect it to be a blowout, it's always close. I trust Bill Belichick. I know that they are either going to win this or, lose by like a field goal. even a touchdown. I could talk myself into a touchdown. Like, that would suck. I said in the last show, if we lose by 3, this is a moral victory. We lost by 3. This is a fucking victory.
Yeah, it's one of those things where moral victory is still a loss. And this is the same shit we were saying last season. After the loss to the Bucks. I went back and looked at the episode. We were saying almost the exact same shit we're going to say in this episode. Moral victory, because
we thought we'd be smoked. We're like, oh no, this Bucks offense is crazy.
Exactly. Totally different reasoning. But then it was, you have the rookie, this and that. This, it was, you have the backup. Then it turned into you have the assistant to the regional manager, the backup to the backup. You had come in
to the regional
Bailey Zappe. Looked like I saw some crazy thing on Twitter. If you look at both pictures of Bailey Zappe and Mac Jones together, Bailey Zappe looks like an actor that would play Mac Jones in a story about Mac Jones.
I did see that.
It's crazy. He looks
in like the Alabama story.
Yeah, he looks like a little thing. Dude, this game almost like I feel like this is, oh God, and I hate it because, how far Patriots fans have fallen. I feel really fucking good going forward.
Really? But this isn't new. This isn't different because we have felt good. We can explain off the 3 losses. We can explain down to a T why those happened. Yep. And we've kind of just summed it up where most of it is, you can group it all together into not great quarterback play. It hasn't been shitty. That hasn't been the sole reason. There's been some mistakes, probably some poor routes run by receivers and whatnot.
Yep.
Overall, it comes down to quarterback play. We've been saying there's nothing to worry about. You're thinking, what is it, 7-game win streak? I'm roughly around there, maybe a game or 2 less. But we both think that there's winning on the horizon. So I don't want people who are listening to be like, oh my God, they are fair weather fans. Now, all of a sudden, they keep a close game with the Packers and they think the season's together. No, we have been thinking this consistently. We have been the shepherds in the valley of darkness here, guiding your righteous asses to the playoffs.
Yes. Oh my, I was so happy when you texted me before we came on here. You were like, yeah, I'm pumped. I'm ready to go. I got strong opinions. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, he's going to come in and maybe say, and I don't know why I thought it, because generally we're on the same page in this stuff where it's like,
we are.
You don't overreact to losses. Don't overreact to wins. I mean, be excited, all that. But this was, you took just to break it down. Your 3rd string rookie quarterback took Aaron, and I know they're not on the same field at the same time, but him and Aaron Rodgers, the Patriots against Green Bay Packers, went to overtime.
Yeah.
And the Patriots had their 3rd stringer. That means that the offense, pretty damn good. And the defense showed up. I know in the second half, Aaron Rodgers did his thing. And I know his numbers looked good, but I still don't think he played as good as his numbers look in the second half. Still, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
He showed up and
he did the best he can against a Bill Belichick-led defense. What are you supposed to do? The greatest quarterbacks in the world struggle with a defense that is schemed up. If Bill gives you a week, he's like, all right, I have 6 days to plan for this quarterback. I don't care if it's Joe Montana, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees.
Nope.
Pick whatever quarterback is your GOAT, whatever GOAT is your favorite. Bill will put up a good game plan to limit his usual production. If Aaron Rodgers is used to scoring 36 points, then maybe we hold him to 27 like this game. Drew Brees used to putting up 40. Well, we'll probably hold Drew to 31 and just so on and so forth.
Yep. Yeah, it was one of those things. And I think since we're talking about defense, I want to start with someone on defense, guy who we kind of had high hopes for. I think you might have even picked him as one of the rookies that would show up, one of the Joneses. But Jack Jones, my God, he took off the 6 armbands and he became a baller. Jack Jones had...
Don't ever put those back on.
Don't ever wear the sleeves. He had forced fumble recovery of said forced fumble. Pick 6. He's got to work on his tackling a little bit. That is, that
most corners can't tackle. I'm not even worried about it.
And especially a rookie corner feeling himself a little bit. I don't think that Bill Belichick gets the credit for how good he drafts or values or what's it called? Talent scouts the corner position. You go from Ty Law to Asante Samuel to Darrelle Revis, which was an easy pick, but still Darrelle Revis, you still got him. Stephon Gilmore, Malcolm Butler, JC Jackson, those two, he built them up. And then you have Jonathan Jones, who is doing very well. He got burned. Jonathan Jones let up a couple of passes, but that was Aaron Rodgers putting the ball where it had to go. Anywhere else, Jonathan Jones would have knocked it down.
And I saw Jonathan Jones make a few good tackles too, where I'm like, all right, I'm like I just said, I'm not expecting much in the tackling department from corners.
No, because a lot of times they go for the strip, which is what happened with Jack Jones. And then you draft Jack Jones. We all thought, or I thought, that Marcus Jones, who we're going to talk about too, I thought Marcus Jones was going to be the guy. It seems like Jack Jones,
it's Panda Jack,
is going to be the guy. And the reason why, after the game, the quote he said, I feel disrespected if you throw an out route against me.
He doesn't like that.
But that's the shit you need as a corner. That's what you need. And I know there were some, I forget, Peter King, who writes for Sports Illustrated, was like, oh, like this rookie's going to come out and say this shit. Yeah. You know why? Because as a corner, you got to have that mentality. And I love it.
Jalen Ramsey talks shit from the second he got in the league.
He talks shit to everyone. And guess what? You still get burned. You're not going to be perfect as a corner. No one's Darrelle Revis. No one's Deion Sanders. No one are those people. You're still going to get burned, but I forget who it was, but one of the Patriots reporters put like kind of a compilation of the out routes that Jack Jones has covered all year. He breaks on them very quick. I think only maybe one was completed. Otherwise, he's tackling you immediately, knocking the ball out, deflecting it. He puts his foot in the ground and he attacks the ball in the out route. Jack Jones, fucking love him. Spoiler, he is in the running for my game breaker for next week. Maybe.
I will spoil it. He is my game breaker, like clear cut. This was a phenomenal performance. How surprised do you, scale of 1 to 10, were you at Jack Jones's performance?
10. I'm not even kidding.
Didn't
10.
see it coming.
I expected not even. I expected just he's a warm body. Put him out there. He'll I don't know. He'll tackle.
We were talking about how a rookie has to step up and like be that next JC Jackson, the next Stephon Gilmore, the next great Patriots corner.
Yep.
I think both of us, I definitely had Marcus Jones as
I did. Yeah, definitely. The thing is though, it's bigger with Jack Jones now, because I was thinking about it and I heard them talking about this on the radio. Jack Jones, if he plays as good or continues to play however good as he is, you keep him on the outside, put Jonathan Jones on the inside so that Miles Bryant doesn't have to get burned all the time. So you get Jonathan Jones back where he feels comfortable, Jack Jones on the outside, Jalen Mills when he comes back from his injury, which everything's pointing to him coming back. So Jalen Mills, he's had a good year
before, though.
He's had a very good year though. He's been good.
Yeah.
You put him in there. Like I think this going into the season, the corners were one of the things where we were like, I don't think if it's going to be
top
great.
Two biggest worries.
I'm like one good game away from saying this is the team's strength, the secondary, because you got the safeties, McCourty, Duggar, Phillips. And then what's his name? Jabril Peppers, but he's been kind of coming in and out, linebacker or whatever. But
he's a gadget guy.
Give me one good game. This Lions game, depending on what happens with the secondary, I'm ready to come in and just say this is
the highest scoring offense in the league, the Lions.
Which they are, which we'll talk about that too when we get to the Lions game. A little like kind
deceiving.
Of bullshit, very deceiving, but still, they still do have a high powered offense. But yeah, Jack Jones, he had to be, of all the things that have happened. Of course, we're going to bring up the quarterbacks first, but Jack Jones, 10 out of 10 surprise. I'm ready to kill for him. I'm ready to ride or die. Now, again, if he shows up next game and gets burned, for 2 touchdowns and doesn't do anything, then I take everything back.
Yes, of course. We need to see consistent production after this. I don't either. Completely.
Were you surprised? What were you? Scale of 1 to 10?
10. Easy 10. Like you said, like just out of nowhere, where I was like, okay, force the fumble recovery. Great play.
Yep.
It's a hustle play. You don't see it often, but cool.
Nope.
Great pressure on Aaron Rodgers, forcing him to make not a great pass, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But for Jack Jones, coming in stride, full speed, catching it over his shoulder. He had already passed the ball, comes back, snags it, and he's just gone. Incredible play. He didn't give up any big, severe plays late in the game that really killed him. The Romeo Dubes touchdown that ended up being dropped was Miles Bryant. The one that he caught, I believe, was also Miles Bryant, but I know it wasn't 13, so that doesn't matter. He was able to hold up the rest of the game. You think Aaron Rodgers kind of go after him, but 10 out of 10 surprised. This guy is a stud, and I don't want to build on the hype too early. Is this the next great Patriots corner? Because it seems like it's a constant mold. Like you said, you went through the generations, the 2 decades that we've been watching, the constant cornerback success that just stems from the Patriots and comes out of nowhere. This guy was a 4th-round pick, got arrested for breaking into a Panda Express. Now is Panda Jack our next guy here?
So I need Panda Jack to catch on, because that's an awesome nickname.
It is. That's my awesome man. One.
I was thinking that, is he the next, like, maybe he reminds me right now of Malcolm Butler, like the effort plays like that, like knocking the ball out there. That was a Malcolm Butler type play. Like picking the ball off, though, that was more of like your JC Jackson. And actually, you know what? They're both kind of the same mold. I feel like he's going to be the next
JC Jackson,
like you said, JC Jackson, like something like that. Or maybe, obviously, JC Jackson's real good, but I don't know. I know that it's early. But
JC Jackson came out of nowhere,
literally nowhere. He was just kind of he was in, and then all of a sudden he had the one great year, another great year, and then he was gone to the Chargers for $1 billion. Like, I can easily see this happening. And again, like I said, Bill Belichick needs to get his props for drafting corners, or for scouting corners,
drafting,
for bringing guys
developing, whatever it is. Because I don't know if they're this good when they come in the door, but after they've been in-house, they're that good.
It can't be a coincidence, dude, because even if you really want to get into it, Miles Bryant, who he is getting burned on some things. Granted, I don't think he should be playing in the slot, because it seems like he's getting burned by faster guys, even though I know he is quick. Miles Bryant is still doing well too, so he's not a bust by any means. Like Bill Belichick, for all the praise he gets, for how much criticism he gets for not being able to draft or develop receivers, we got a receiver to talk about too. But for not being able to draft receivers, he needs to get the credit tenfold for being able
drafting
to scout
corners.
It's incredible. Now, if only Marcus Jones could show up, but honestly, I'm cool with Marcus Jones doing what he's doing.
And he was the most electric returner on the field, and maybe the most electric returner I watched all Sunday. I watched plenty of games.
Yeah. Because a lot of the kick returns is one of the things, you take it out to the 20, the 25. Yeah. You don't really go far. On his kick returns, he averaged 30 yards per. On his punt returns, he averaged 25. And that's a big one, because
I remember he had a good punt return. 30 yards on a kick return, though,
that's the average.
Touchbacks,
that's the average,
25,
Yeah, but I mean, you got to think,
I remember seeing him on the punt return.
He's taking it more. I mean, still, I feel like you found the guy, and he was the one coming out of college anyways. Everybody said, he's the most electric kick returner, and
he's crazy
in college football history and whatnot. But
I expected from him a Jabril Peppers type thing, where I figured he'd be the slot corner, maybe bounce outside, he'd be returning punts. He's just a speedster. So if he intercepted the ball, got it in his hands, he'd know how to return it, know what to do. Man, Jack Jones, like we gave him our props. We acknowledged that there was a lot of talk around him in camp. But he hopped, skipped, and leaped the depth chart of corners.
Jumped right over him. Well, because in all of training camp, all the preseason, Marcus Jones was the starter. Jack Jones was the one that couldn't really see the field. He was playing in the third and fourth quarter of the second and third preseason game. So he was the guy, rightly so, that we all thought was going to be the one that was going to have to develop. Marcus Jones was going to be the starter. He leapfrogged him, and now I don't see a world where you cannot have him on the field for the majority of the defensive snaps. Can't see it. Even when Jalen Mills comes back, because you got to think, if you have Jalen Mills comes back, or when Jalen Mills comes back, awesome. Him, Jonathan Jones, Jack Jones, Miles Bryant sprinkled in there, and then you just kind of go from there. I mean, I think these two picks, the two Joneses, are going to pan out this year. I mean, you're talking about 2 4th
for different reasons, but they'll both be successful.
Yeah. I mean, and who knows, like maybe by the end of the year, we're talking about Jack Jones being the number one corner on the team. him following the mold of, in a couple of years, he's going to get that big JC Jackson contract. Yeah. And then guess what? In a couple of years, Belichick's going to draft another one.
Yep. When Jack Jones eventually goes out the door for a $27 million contract, Bill will just draft another one because why not?
Fuck he'll say, oh, okay, well, I guess, let's see, what last name should we go with now, guys? The Smith? Are there any Smiths out there? I'll draft 2 Smiths.
There's 16 Smiths. All right, let's play around here.
I'm going to get 4
I bet
of them.
Bill loves the Smiths.
I bet he does. It's a boring name. It's a nice boring thing for him. I bet he likes that shit. That's definitely something he likes.
Christ. Hey, one more good game from Jack Jones, though. That might have to be my next jersey purchase. I need one with the new uniforms. So I don't know. I'm thinking Jack Jones. One more put together game. I'm pulling more.
That'd be the one. That'd be the one. I don't
13 know. Is a badass number too.
13 is a good one, especially for a corner. It's like it's a random one for a corner.
Yeah,
which I like. So, but yeah, the Joneses. I got nothing else to say about him. I'm pumped. I can't wait to see what happens with them, like when they develop. Now, whenever Marcus Jones is back there on a punt return, I trust him to catch the ball more than I did Miles Bryant. And also I trust him to make the decision if he's going to fair catch it, run it, what he's going to do. And when he's running it, you actually have to pay attention because you just see it when he gets the ball. His acceleration is like that. It's like instant. He gets it and he's gone. Even if he's only running for 15 yards, he at least knows where he's running to. And that's what you need as a punt or a kick returner. So I'm pumped for them. Cannot wait. Do you want to move forward with another rookie, or do you want to go negative, or do you want to go somewhere else?
I think we're both going in the same direction here with that first option. Let me just lead this one off.
Let's go.
If I had told you that our quarterback was 10 of 15 for a touchdown, and we were up by 7 points at the end of the third quarter. Just telling you this last Tuesday, the last time we recorded, we are up 7 going into the fourth. Our quarterback is throwing an extremely efficient game. I won't tell you the yards because 99 yards, that makes you question it a little bit where you're like, why does he only have 99? No. What happened? But 10 of 15, up a touchdown, game's almost over. What would you have thought last Tuesday?
I would have said, listen, either you got Brian Hoyer has this game managed to death, or maybe even Mac Jones came back in to throw a little bit. I would not have guessed what actually happened.
No, not absolutely not.
Million years would I have guessed what happened actually happened.
And it's a shame because I kind of wanted to see Hoyer go, but it was cool how it turned out.
He had a good drive. It was like a 57-yard drive or something, almost 60-yard drive that ended in a field goal, kind of stalled a little bit there. But
what did he get? Did he get a concussion? What was the injury?
It was a head injury. So with everything that's going on with Tua, there's no way Hoyer's coming back this week for the Lions game. There's just no way. They're not gonna let him come back. Which granted, good, because honestly, we got the Zappe man in. I'm ready to go. Although, listen, I do want to get just the one thing that, like, it's not even a negative. It's just like a critique. I hope he gets a little bit more comfortable in the pocket, because on the last throw of the game, I've seen they showed the replay so many times now. I've seen it all over. He has Hunter Henry running a slant on the inside, and he's open. He's running up. Hunter Henry does the little juke, goes to the right. He's got a step and a half on the DB. Instead of throwing it there, Zappe gets a little, twiddle feet and spins out of the pocket. That's the one where he spins out, runs to the corner, throws it. It's 4th and 5. Then we all know, we'll talk about what happens after that. But he had Hunter Henry. If he would have threw it to him there, he didn't have to spin out of the pocket. But again, it's not something I'm going to sit there and roast him for, because he's a rookie playing his first game. Like, I mean,
and by that point, like, the Patriots offense had just stalled the last 3 drives. It just completely fell off, which I'm not mad about. Like, that kind of fucking happens, I guess.
It always and that's the thing, people talking about. Different play calling, all that stuff, and I guess I guess we'll get into the play calling and everything now. So the Patriots, this offense without Mac Jones, they're going to run the ball a lot, guys. That's what they're going to do. And guess what? When you got Damian Harris ripping off 86 yards, Ramondre Stevenson ripping off 66 yards,
and also catching ability by Ramondre Stevenson. Because Zappe wasn't pushing it downfield.
No.
Which, again, I don't expect him to. I'm not thinking he's going to air it out for 5 dubs.
I just didn't want to throw any picks. That's all I wanted.
None. But a lot of checkdowns to Ramondre. He was cool. He was smart about it. He's like, I don't initially see anyone open. Maybe I could force it and get somebody open. But I got Ramondre Stevenson. He'll get 7.
Yep. Just dump it off. Yeah. So, and if you're not doing that, the Patriots are going to run the ball. They're running. And this is, I'll bring up Cole Strange's name once again. They ran behind Trent Brown and Cole Strange so much to the point where Trent Brown, there's a play. I forget when it was, what play it was, but Trent Brown like pancake blocks someone. I think it was Stevenson, ran for like 7 yards. He backs up from the pile, turns to the Patriots sideline, goes like this and flexes on him. Like, run to my side, keep running to my side. That's the shit you like to see. Then you got Cole Strange throwing people on the ground, getting in people's faces, just being a dick on the field. That's
got the bodyguards up front.
You got the, oh my God. And then when they're running to the right, you got Marcus Cannon finally making an appearance. Loved him being in the game. Yeah. Loved him being, and then you got Strange swing blocking. It's like, of course they're going to run the ball a lot. You got to
call that too. Marcus Cannon actually getting some time.
Yeah. And speaking of Marcus Cannon, the other thing, who he replaced for a little bit there, Isaiah Wynn, he missed the block that led to the Hoyer concussion. He missed the block that led to a strip sack of Zappe. Then he had, this was great, a false start and a holding call on back-to-back plays, which
crazy.
Like he had, and then there were just a litany of other plays where he was just not great.
I haven't seen such ineptitude from an offensive lineman since like Winston Justice completely ate shit. He was Eagles against the Packers. He had 3 straight holding calls.
And it happened so quick. It's just happening so quick with him because it seemed like he was the guy where it's like, okay, like he'll have like
he's a rock.
Almost like Trent Brown, where it's like he'll have like a holding call, maybe a game, but like he's for the most part, he's going to be solid. You plug him over there, you don't really have to worry. He has just spiraled further and further and further to the point where I know he's probably going to start because Cannon is still getting his, sea legs under him and all that stuff. I loved this 6 lineman shit they were doing. That was awesome.
Yeah.
But
which is out of necessity too. Like if Isaiah Wynn's going to be like that, then fuck you. We're going to have to load up.
Yeah. You got to plug him in. And then at that point in the game, the Patriots were like, you know what? Listen, we're going to run it. We know we're going to run it. So this is what we're going to do. Yeah. We're going to load up, heavy package, have Hunter Henry over there as well, because that's all he fucking does is block. And we are just going to run down your throats. And the Patriots did it. And that is why, leading to the end, the play calling. People complaining about the play calling towards the very end of the game, but it's really in overtime. That final drive is where I'm seeing people bitch about it. So Patriots ripped off 5 yards on first down, second and 5. Ran up the middle on second down. No gain. Then after that, the 3rd and 5, that was the spin around where he had Hunter Henry for a second. If he would have stayed in the pocket, he would have seen him. He spun out of the pocket, whatever. Patriots punt the ball. A couple different questions there. First thing, people saying, put the ball in the kid's hand. I keep seeing that shit. Put the ball in the kid's hand. Put the ball in the kid's hand. This isn't Mac Jones. This isn't first round pick Mac Jones we're talking about. This is Bailey Zappe thrusted into a game in Lambeau in overtime on the second drive in overtime, or the first drive in overtime. His first ever overtime
to go win the game against Aaron Rodgers.
Put the ball in his hand.
Yeah, and I don't want to sound crass or crude here because what Bailey Zappe did was great.
Yeah,
he came in, threw an efficient game. 100 yards is nothing to sneeze at. I probably couldn't throw 100 yards in an NFL game.
I don't know. That touchdown to Parker, that nice little, I thought it was never going to get there, but like that lob, that just took forever. The thing.
It hung in the air forever. Something about his passes, he just doesn't have much zip on the ball. The ball isn't flying in there.
No, I don't think he's confident.
No, and that maybe that's it. And it's like something like that makes me think, like, is he an NFL quarterback where he just can't make those throws, or was he just too nervous to do it? Because the Devontae Parker one, I'm like, oh my God, it's going to get picked. It's going to get picked. And then somehow he was like wide open and ran underneath it. The whole play felt like it took like 9 seconds long.
Yeah,
the ball
very
felt
weird.
like it was in the air for a half hour. I'm
very
like,
weird. Same thing. He threw one to Nelson Aguilar too on the I think he was slanting to the left at one point. I was like, dude, I get it, but I would say that's
Hunter Henry on a corner route too. Like, must have been the fourth quarter. I think it was 3rd and long, and they got him just short. But he threw it to Hunter Henry. Not much zip on the ball. I'm like, oh my God! And then like Hunter Henry was able to box him out. So he was great. He did a lot for a 3rd-string rookie quarterback, but I'm not expecting much. Where like his passes didn't blow me away. Like when Aaron Rodgers came in to relieve Brett Favre, you saw some zip on the ball. You saw some people go, wow, this guy's fantastic. Granted, Aaron Rodgers was the 24th overall pick. Bailey Zappe was, 90th or whatever the fuck it is. But no, I would not be saying put the ball in the kid's hands. No. We want to make this simple. We want to make this easy. We have a good team. We don't need to throw it all on this guy.
No, God, no. You have been running down, and this is the other thing I see. Oh, weak play calling on there. So the Patriots have been running down the Packers' throats the entire game. And I'm not saying every run is ripping off 5-6 yards. That's not. It's just grand scheme. People watching this game say the Patriots were having their way running the ball.
Yeah. They ran the ball 33 times. They had to have done a fucking decent
167 yards, I think. Yeah, 166, 160 something. Yeah, 167 yards.
Yeah.
In what world do you, and I get that the run kind of up the middle was, not great at that point, but they were running up the middle, but to the left side behind Cole Strange and Trent Brown. And again, last week I said it, the mistakes are always catastrophic. Cole Strange misses a block. Packers linebacker comes in and stuffs that run. Every single time that run happens during the game, Cole Strange is blocking the shit out of someone. But of course, when it needs to happen,
on the potential game-winning drive and overtime,
whiffs on the block, boom. Like, so I have no issue with that play calling. I think maybe fuck it, you should have ran it on 3rd and 5 too. Like maybe do that whole like power thing where you got Cole Strange come over, crack block people, try to figure it out. I mean, no, but like I was saying before the play, because the Patriots called the timeout before they ran that 3rd and 5. I was talking to my dad because we were watching the game because I'm up here in New Hampshire, and he was like, oh, what did they do? Do they run it? This and that, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I'm not going to be mad either way, because if they want to throw it, I get it, because it's 3rd and 5,
it's
throwing
bold,
the ball.
They might not be expecting it.
Yeah. And, throwing the ball might be a little easier to get there, maybe a quick little route, which they had, by the way. So everybody talking shit about the offense, they had the play.
I'm going to go back and look at this. I missed that.
Yeah. He had him there. I'll retweet it from the Tuck Rule Takes account. So we'll be able to look at it, but you could see he had the play. No crazy, diss to him. He's a rookie, whatever, but the play was there. If they ran it, I wouldn't have been mad either, even though it's 3 straight runs. Patriots have been having their way all day. So I don't get the hatred for those play callings. I don't understand that.
I don't think the play calling was bad at all. It was conservative. It was put Zappe in a good position to succeed. The Devontae Parker play call where that was a touchdown, incredible play call. All the actions going to the left, drag a receiver across the right side, wide open. It's like incredible. The defense didn't see that coming. It wasn't a busted coverage. They were so fixated on stopping the run. The linebackers moved in toward the line of scrimmage, and he just went right over the top of it where the linebackers should have been. Wide open. Great play call.
Wide open. Matt Patricia, great. This was a great game for Matt Patricia. People want to talk shit about him. He's actually had a relatively good season. So I think, like we said,
the thing is, he was a defensive coordinator for us for years. To coach defense, you have to know offense inside and out. You have to know route schemes. You have to know tempo of an offense. You have to know the other team's tendencies, what they're good at. All of this could be worked. What is it? Reverse engineering, back engineering. Like when you take something apart, put it back together.
It just takes a little bit.
Yeah. Exactly. And I don't even think it was really like a slow burn. Like maybe if I go back and watch the first 2 games, I can find some questionable play calls. I think that's anywhere. Kyle Shanahan's one of the best play callers there is. He's called some questionable play calls. It happens. Yeah. Some coaches get in their thing where they're like, I'm on a roll. Let's see if this fucking works. I bet this will work, and then it doesn't.
Kyle Shanahan was the offensive fucking coordinator when the Falcons lost 28-3. So tell me again how all of a sudden Kyle Shanahan is this genius. No, he fucks up too. Like, let's stop. Enough.
He ran 3 passes when they were up 28-3. Run the fucking ball.
All they had to do was run it. And then when they ran it, I mean, we know what happened. But still, I full well agree with you on everything about Matt Patricia. I think that it just takes a while. It's a new offense. The execution, like we said, Mac Jones deserves criticism here. Of course he does. But it's not. There's just a cap, I think, at how much criticism he should get. It's just all the pieces to the puzzle are coming together. Matt Patricia has had a good year. He had a great game calling these plays.
The coaching staff isn't stupid. Bill Belichick is a genius. If he had a problem with Matt Patricia's play calls, do you think he'd still be calling plays? No, Bill would be like, all right, either Mayo's going to do this or Joe Judge is going to do this or I'm going to do this because you're just not getting it done. He clearly likes what's going on here, clearly likes what he's seen the first 4 games. If Bill trusts Matt Patricia, then fucking hell, we have to trust Matt Patricia.
Let him go. Yeah. Who is to say that we
let Patricia cook?
Who's to exactly let Matty P cook? Like who's to say we're smarter than Bill?
Judging by the size of him, he probably shouldn't do much cooking. He should
he probably orders out a lot. I'm sure he orders out a lot. I don't see
I would imagine so. Big Uber Eats guy. But hey, more power to him. He's a fucking stud defensive coordinator, and I like what I see on offense. So he can order as much as he wants.
Yeah, I like it. I hope that this type of offense, because I'm not going to say that this was the same offense that was being run when Mac Jones was in there. It wasn't. It was more of like an air raid offense with him. I hope that the offense that he called on Sunday and the Mac Jones kind of deep pass, all that, big home run type offense, they mesh that together. And that's the offense we get moving forward, because I think that Mac Jones would be tremendous in this offense. More play action. Why the fuck are we not running more play action with Mac Jones in the game? Come on.
And I can't even hate on the non-tight end action anymore because we don't run a pass eccentric offense with Bailey Zappe in there. He took sacks when he shouldn't have.
Of course,
he tried to be mobile in situations where he just wasn't fast enough to get away from the defensive line. All trials and tribulations. You sink or swim. He sunk a couple times. Eventually he'll learn to swim type deal.
Yeah.
It was a flawed but really good game from the quarterback, and I guess it would be the way I'd put that.
Yeah, same thing here. I mean, he did what we could expect him. Now, next week, when we talk about the Lions game, we'll obviously go over a little bit who's going to start, probably Zappe, what we expect. I do expect a little bit more next week because he is practicing with the ones. I'm not expecting like a crazy jump, but just maybe just a little bit more confidence, a little bit more zip on the ball. But that's neither here nor there. I don't know. But in that overtime drive, Patriots get the ball after a nice Marcus Jones punt return. Marcus Jones showing up again. They get the ball. They get the ball. They get it to the 49. They're on their own 49. They went 3 and out. They ended up punting the ball away. Where do you land on this? Because this is the Bucs game. He elected for a long kick instead of going for it. Do you think that the Patriots should have went for it on 4th and 5 in overtime? Or do you think that what they did was right, just the outcome was wrong? I'm very interested to hear where you feel about this, where you stand about this.
So this is a double-edged sword because the defense can only hold up for so long, in even the best defenses. Like the 2000 Ravens, you don't expect them to stop the highest rated offense all game. They're going to give up points. I think because I watched the documentary and some of the interviews where they said if we could hold them to less than 2 touchdowns, we'd win. And that's still them going, hey, they are going to score 2 touchdowns. We just got to keep it under that. Eventually, the defense has to make mistakes. They will give it up. Aaron Rodgers figured it out toward the end. He got hot. He had the back shoulder touchdown to Romeo Dubes, which is the best last name in the league right now. Dubes.
Yep.
Come on.
Yep.
That guy's
awesome
gross.
name.
But and then he had almost a second touchdown to that motherfucker, and luckily he dropped it.
Yeah.
At that point, yeah, scary. And I'll talk about that in a second. But at that point, Aaron Rodgers was picking up steam. He was figuring it out. He was getting more comfortable. Seeing what Bill was doing on defense to mess with him, he was getting used to it. So it's tough. It's one of those things where it's like, if they get the ball back, they're probably going to do something with it. And they did. But then again, I didn't have much confidence in the offense either. So it's like, who's the better of two evils? The tired defense, which has done well all game, can they get one more stop? Or the offense, which has infinite amount of questions, but has shown some promise? You got to bet on the defense that had a forced fumble, a fumble recovery. What was it? 4 sacks?
4 sacks. Yep.
4 sacks, 7 quarterback hits, and a pick 6. I'm going to go with the stats on this one. I'm going to say the defense. Yeah. It just seemed like the better option at the time. An offense that puts up 24 points is nothing to sneeze at. But a lot of those were running the ball. In overtime, you don't have that much time. Everything is more intensified. The defense is thinking, we just have to stop them right here. One more stop and we're good. We get the ball back and they kick a field goal. At that point, the pressure is all on the offense. So I think it was the right move. I wouldn't hate it either way, but Bill went with what he believed was the better chance. And I'm with him on that one, where I'm like, all right, Aaron Rodgers has barely had time through the first 3 quarters to throw the damn ball. He just figured it out in the 4th quarter. If we can just get one more, a sack on him, make it 2nd and 15, then I think it'd be golden. I think it'd be a different story. That means they're forced into a passing situation. Everyone knows on the defensive line knows it's going to be a pass. This is overtime. They need a first down.
Yep.
Changes the game entirely.
Yeah. No, I agree, because if you go for it on that 4th down, you are on the Packers 46-yard line. I was just trying to figure out the exact yard line they were at. You're at the Packers 46. You don't get it. You give Aaron Rodgers the ball. He needs a first down plus 5 yards or so to get into range for Crosby to kick a field goal. Do you have better feelings? What do you think the odds are that the Patriots can stop Aaron Rodgers from getting 15 yards or stop him from getting 40, 45 yards? You punted away all day. The drive right before that, the Patriots made the Packers went 3 and out. They got the ball in overtime. Boom, done. Actually, I forget if they went 3 and out, but either way, they didn't, nothing. They end up punting the ball back. So
they swap possessions.
This is the part I don't get. It's in this, I feel even more confident about than I was talking about the Bucs game last year, because the Bucs game, at least there was an argument to maybe go for it, because you had Mac Jones, all that stuff, Tom Brady, all that fun stuff. Yeah, this though, Aaron Rodgers, if you go for it there, you don't get it. You just saw everyone's talking about how the Patriots offense, this and that. You got the third string quarterback, but yet you want them to go for it. Like, what has the offense done so far that day to instill any confidence that they can get that? Not saying it's not a criticism to anybody on the offense. It's just matter of fact, 3rd string quarterback. The offense looked a little bit, like you said, little disjointed going into overtime.
Do you feel good about a run on 4th and 5 is the real question.
Because that's what it would have been. It would not have been a pass. It would have been a run or maybe a play action. But do you trust a run? Most people are going to say no. I trusted the run on 3rd down.
Run to Strange and Brown's side. I don't hate it. But
I don't love it. I would rather you punt the ball away. You held the Packers at that point to 24 points. That is a good game. You had it's not like the Patriots defense, like like Belichick was punting away, just saying, "Oh, my defense sucks. So I'm just going to give them, I'm going to give them as long a field as possible to try to figure it out." He said, "No, my defense has been the strength. We tried to get the first down, couldn't do it. Drive stalled. Shit happens. We're going to punt it away, go with the strength of the team, just like they went with the strength of the offense when they were trying to run the ball for a first down in overtime." I don't know. It's just the people. It's the hindsight, arguments that people make where it's like, oh, well, it didn't happen. So
bunch of couch quarterbers saying,
I don't get it. If this were, you can't hate the play call just because of the outcome. That does not make sense. That's not fair. That's not fair to the argument, because that's like with anything.
You got to think about it in the time and circumstance that it happened, because the Ravens went for it on fourth down and Lamar threw a pick. But if they converted on that fourth down, they guaranteed the win.
Yep.
And it's a huge, high risk, high reward. Because I think in the Ravens situation, they were only up 3. So you turn it over, Buffalo's probably going to go down and score. And they did, and they lost. So you look at it at the time and you go, that was a bold move. But it was also, if you get that, you're guaranteeing the win. It outweighs the negatives of it, because then you're like, all right, is my defense probably going to have to stop them either way.
Yeah. Yeah. So decisions get made in the NFL all the time. Every single play decisions get made. Like people can say that, oh, this run, this, halfback toss went for 7 yards. The next one goes for no gain. Oh my God, why'd you run that? Well, because it just fucking worked. So you're gonna run the ball. It's very weird. It's like this weird thing. Every fan base does it. It's not just that this isn't just Patriots centric, but it's like you can't hate on something just because you didn't like the outcome when that choice has led to good things pretty much for the whole game. Patriots defense has played well the whole game. Of course, little things here and there. They gave up some big passes to Rodgers, but on the drive right before that, they did well. On the last drive in the fourth quarter, they did well. They held them. So punt it away, see what's going to happen. Now, if Mac Jones is back there, do you think they go for it? Even then, I don't think so. But if that's the case, I don't think that they run the ball on second.
Then they pass.
Then they pass. So I saw people trying to make that argument. I don't even think you can make that, because I think if Mac Jones is in the game, the Patriots win the game. I do not. I think judging by hindsight, since we're talking about hindsight, looking at how the Patriots defense played in what went down, I think the Patriots win this game going away if Mac Jones is in it.
We were up 10-7 at halftime. We put up more than 10 points in the first half if Mac Jones is in there.
Oh yeah, there were play where think of the conservative play, and of course, I would assume
the opening drive, Brian Hoyer took them all the way down for a field goal. You like to think Mac Jones would have got them closer.
Yeah, and again, we're assuming that the mistakes don't come from Mac Jones, with the picks that he's been throwing here and there. But
yes,
I don't, and that's why we're saying this team is actually pretty damn good, because if the team is good, if you have a better quarterback that you can plug in there, the team is just going to get better. Like that's why this moral victory thing, it sounds like such a loser's mentality and people don't like to talk about it, but that's what this is. The team is really good. That's what they showed. And I think that Bill punting it in overtime, it's not one of those things where he didn't have faith in the offense or that. No, he looked at it like a smart individual and said, do I want to give Aaron Rodgers the ball back with basically a first down and then a little bit more, and he's in field goal range? Because that's all you need at that point, guys. Yeah. And it's over with Crosby, who is a great kicker. Max Crosby is a very good kicker. He's no Justin Tucker, but he Max.
is Max is the defensive end. Mason Crosby.
He is a good kicker. Again, like I said, he's no Tucker. He's no Adam Vinatieri in his prime. No, but he easily make that kick in Lambeau 10 times out of 10 times. Or do you punt it away? Maybe you have a good punt, which they did. They gave. I think the Packers were on the 12-yard line or something. It was a decent punt. It just Aaron Rodgers. That's all that happened. Shit happens. Rodgers. It sucks. And I know
he's a top 5 quarterback of all time. Like, what do you expect?
So it is what it is. They had a chess match, and it just so happened that Belichick ran out of pieces because Aaron Rodgers said, "Oh, you have all those pieces, but I still have my queen. All we had were a couple rooks and a horse.
Checkmate.
And maybe one pawn. That's what we were working with. We weren't even working with a full chessboard here. Aaron Rodgers had everything there. So 1-3, it's not a great place to be. I don't like it.
Yeah.
The fucking Jets have a better record.
Yeah, but that won't last. We know that
neither will Miami either with Tua.
No.
That will not last.
I would imagine they could very well lose every game after this. But
even if Tua comes back, I still don't have faith in them. But
no. How exciting was it? I guess would be the word, or passion-inducing was it to see how into this game Bill Belichick was when he was
yelling at people,
his headset, flipping out at the ref when they were reviewing that Romeo Dupes drop. He was losing it, and I was like, it was one of those Greg Popovich where he's like, I'm going to get ejected in the first 30 seconds of this game to hype the team up. But you don't really do that in football because you need a coach. In basketball, the players can just coach themselves, basically. For him to just be absolutely going apeshit, just destroying his headset, the amount of F-bombs that they had to like try and cover up, they would pan away from him, pan back.
They couldn't do it.
He'd be like, what the fuck? What is that call? Flipping out. Fuck. Right in the ref's ear.
They pan back. He's still yelling. He's still swearing.
Yeah.
They couldn't do anything with it. I loved it. Oh my God.
Bill loves this team.
Yeah. And that, God, you had that bullshit. God, now that I'm in New Hampshire, I'm listening to local radio. So I hear all like the takes like that we can talk about. And like you hear I don't think that Bill likes this team. These aren't like Patriots teams of old. Yeah, no shit. Patriots teams of old.
That's what he likes about it.
Yeah,
I think he's
likes
like, this is
shit.
A new challenge. This is
fun. His thing. He's like, listen, I won with Tom. Like we won, we did our thing. You know what? Do you know what you give to someone has it all? You're like, we're gonna take it all away from you. We're gonna make you build it again. And Belichick's like, let's fucking go. This is my shit.
He's like, for 20 years, I dealt with a offense that was so stifling, and defense, special teams, coaching was an afterthought. Now I get to run the ball. I get to play defense.
Oh my God. I bet he probably stays up at night and just looks at like run plays just after run play. And he's like, oh, listen, what's his wife's name? Linda. That I'll be in bed soon. Let me just watch a few more.
Like, Linda, I'm watching this Army Navy game from 1946.
Oh,
I can use some of these plays.
And he does that though. We've heard him say he does that. He'll be in press conferences. He'll be like, oh yeah, well, the Bama whatever game, back in 58, they ran a similar play to this. So we figured that, the defensive coordinator's stepdad was actually the coach. So maybe he would see it and get confused. So we tricked him. And like that's the shit that he gets off on.
Are you pro football focus? Like, what are you saying?
He loves this. Loves it. And by the way, before we go any further, my game breaker from last week, Matt Judon. Let me just take like a little victory lap here. I'm 2 for 2 on game breakers.
Deserved.
Devontae Parker, Matt Judon, 3 tackles, 2 assists, 1 sack, all over the field, causing destruction everywhere he went. Red sleeves.
Even when he was on the sideline, he was so animated.
He was so ready to go. He loves this. He even said, like in his press conference, like not just losing, like no more of it. Like it just, you can tell this team. Like I think Matthew Slater even said, he's like, it's been a long time since I felt this good, or this, or it wasn't like this good. It was like, since I felt this good towards the guys in this locker room, this fucking team. We said it last year, and obviously the season didn't end how we wanted, but this team has grown together. The newcomers have come in and they've built on it and everything. Mac Jones, everybody would fucking die for Mac Jones, it seems like. Yeah. So it goes back to what you said. This is such a good team. They just need to put it together. Mac Jones being out kind of fucks that up. The rest of their schedule should let them kind of get back to where they should be and continue to move on. But like you can tell, like you said, seeing Belichick yell like that, that's how you know. It's like, fuck yeah. See it.
It's like he hasn't lost his passion at whatever age he is. I think he's 75 or however friggin' old he is.
He is still like a 33-year-old in heart, just like yelling at people,
hasn't
cursing
lost
them
a
out.
drip of passion.
Not at all. And I think that's another takeaway I guess you can take from this is that, Belichick's not dejected. I guess like all the things he's been saying to the team where it's like, guys, we had a good game. We were a couple plays away. He understands it. And of course you had people, oh my God, Belichick is talking like this. What a loser way to talk, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, it's not. He knows the team. He knows the team a fucking lot better than you do. You don't know shit about fuck. This guy's sitting here looking at the team going, we are like this close to putting it all together. Like, because if you think about it, if you take away even some of those picks, not even all the picks, just like the backbreaking ones that Mac Jones has thrown, which has really only been like 2, like really backbreaking picks and turnovers.
Kind of
Nelly,
both of them came in the Ravens game, but
they did. And then, Nelly's had a couple things and there's been some fumbles here and there. If you take away those uncharacteristic turnovers, I know that's such a loser thing to say too. Patriots are what, 3-1? Like you said, 2-2 before. So this team, I'm very excited
special
to see
here.
Like the Super Bowl, we won't talk about the Eagles, how they were like, people like they got in the playoffs and people were like,
they were the dogs.
This is kind of weird. Oh, then the Giants too, that Super Bowl when they were 9-7 or something. And it was like, these guys shouldn't be like, one of these things is not like
when the Ravens won the Super Bowl, they like snuck into the wild card and you're like, okay, they beat Andrew Luck. They won't beat Peyton Manning. Oh my God, they beat Peyton Manning. Okay, but they won't beat the Patriots. Oh my God, they beat the Patriots. And then they're like, holy shit, how are the Ravens in the Super Bowl?
That's all it takes. And if you look at the AFC, other than your top 3 teams, you got the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Ravens. And honestly, the Bills don't look like these fucking world beaters either. No. Josh Allen just throwing the ball right to defenders.
I told you.
The Ravens should have beat them, and I was pissed that they didn't. But whatever.
The one time you're rooting for the Ravens.
Other than those 3 teams, which I think, given the Bills, weaknesses and stuff, their secondary is kind of all injured. They're still one of the top 3 teams in the AFC. You got the Chiefs, the Ravens, and the Bills. Those are your top 3. Other than that, what team can you confidently say the Patriots can't beat? I know they can lose to anyone. That's the wild card we have right now, but they can beat the Steelers. They've beaten them. Well, the Steelers aren't even in the mix. Honestly, they can beat the Ravens, but we won't talk about that.
And I was going to say, I honestly believe they can beat all those teams. Like, I think Bill would have a killer game plan as he has before.
He's had that before. The only thing that stopped that was the Tyreek Hill effect, where he just chucks it up to him, and then which Tua or not even Tua. But no, it was Tua in the game. And people are trying to do in that Miami offense now, just chuck it up to Tyreek Hill and they're getting picks.
Yep.
Like I just don't see any team like the Bengals. They don't necessarily scare me like I thought they would. Their offensive line is horrible, which is the main that is the biggest thing for an offense. We've seen it. The Raiders don't.
Only thing they fixed in the offseason too.
Yeah,
so funny. Just
supposedly.
Didn't work.
Like the Raiders don't scare you. The Colts suck. I mean, the Jaguars are better than we thought, but Titans I don't think that the Titans are horrible. Like the Dolphins, not worried about them. Like and the Jets don't even. That's silly. Like I don't see a way this team doesn't.
Did you see my boy Braxton Berrios' touchdown pass?
No, I tried to avoid Braxton Berrios highlights.
Well, the best player on the Jets had the
Braxton Berrios. Yep. Well, good for him. Good for him. So yeah, with this game, before we kind of talk about the Lions game breakers and we're out, do you have any closing thoughts on this Green Bay game? Anything that we haven't hit on? Anything you have moving forward, overarching thoughts? Because my thing is just, I'm happy. I'm good. Keep moving. Bailey's happy. Let's go. We're riding into next week.
Yeah, I mean, I said my game breaker's Jack Jones. That's kind of a clear cut. He was
Jack Jones
phenomenal. In this game, like the only option for a game breaker is the defense because it was so good. But yeah, I mean, other than that, we got a good team. That's all I have to say. Like everyone, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's where it ends there, and it'll begin next week again, or this Sunday. Everybody will talk the Lions. Now, you mentioned the Lions have this crazy offense. Right. That's what everybody talks about. The Lions lost 38-35. Oh, they scored 35 points going into, against Philly. That's cool. Going into the fourth quarter, they were down double digits. They were down because I think after the second, they were down 24-14. Then they were down 35-21. Going into or 38-21 going into the fourth quarter. So you don't think that maybe the defense let up a little bit, that the Eagles defense maybe,
there were a lot of question marks on that Eagles defense now, week 1 after that.
Yeah, of course there were. Now going into playing the Commanders, they actually had a good game. They beat them 36-27. Commanders suck though, so I'm not going to put much stock into that.
27 points is a decent amount of points.
Yeah, no, that's very solid. I mean, the Packers just scored that. That is a solid thing. But then you look at the Vikings game, 24 points. Nothing crazy. Patriots just scored 24 points. So, I mean, that's not, this crazy thing. And then the Seahawks game.
Crazy madness.
That's the one everybody wants to talk about. So going into the fourth quarter, the Seattle Seahawks had 38 points. The Lions had 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 20, had 23 points. Going into the fourth, you don't think that maybe the Seahawks defense let up a little bit, had a little prevent defense in there when the Lions were down 3 fucking scores. And then it just turned into a crazy shootout. Seattle isn't a great team anyway, but
no, although Geno Smith is for some reason playing okay.
Yeah, I don't like that. Come on. So yeah, sure. They score a lot. They are one of, if not the best rushing attack in the NFL. I forget which kind of is a little
Eagles
worrisome.
are the best, but yeah.
Eagles are the best. Yeah. I know the Lions are up there a little bit, but
yeah, I mean, Eagles are the best team in the league.
Statistically or record wise, I guess. Yeah.
Record wise, statistically, no matter how you want to cut it, it hurts.
I want to cut your tongue off every time you talk about the Eagles. But yeah, the Lions, man, they're going into it. Patriots just signed Jamie Collins, by the way, so that'll help with the run, with the rush defense.
So I'm expecting, a light game from Jamie Collins, maybe 2 sacks, a pick 6, a couple pass deflections, nothing crazy, but comes in and makes a bit of an impact.
Mm-hmm.
The Lions, though, first rated in scoring points and last rated in giving up points. Like they give up the most points, or first rated in giving up points as well. They give up the most points. They score the most points. Their defense isn't very good.
Yeah, no, their defense right now is on pace to be the worst defense in NFL history. So I don't care. And they can't stop the run to save their life. So Stevenson and Damian Harris should eat next week. I don't care who is under center. The Patriots are winning this game. I will go as far to say if the Patriots lose to the Lions, I will officially have my hand pressing the panic button, because I think that is inexcusable if you lose to the Lions at home. There is just no reason for that to happen. I understand everything we said. Jared Goff isn't great. Freaking it's like what's his name? Belichick already ran circles around him in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So
held him to 3 fucking points.
Yeah, held him to 3 points. So I don't think he's going to be, lighting it up. Sure, they might run the ball a ton, but eventually you're going to have to pass it. Jared Goff can't pass on a Bill Belichick defense. So
no, I think he's also going to be riding high. He had a 4 touchdown game.
Yeah. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah. So he's going to be riding high, thinking that he can go in and pass all over Bill's defense, and no. He is in for quite the surprise. And I hope Jack Jones has something to do with that. I would love to see Jamie Collins have something to do with that.
Yeah.
But I just think it's one of those things. I wouldn't be hitting the panic button. It would suck. It would suck really bad. It would suck really bad. But until Mac comes back, and if Mac looks shaky after the injury, then I'm like, all right, the season's fucking over. But until it is truly fucking over, until the nail is in the coffin and, we are 3-6. Or whatever, a bad record, that I'd be like, all right, it's over. Because I think, like you said, the conference isn't scary. You can make the playoffs going 10-7.
Yeah, maybe even 9, depending on what happens with some of these other teams, because they're going to end up eating each other. All the teams that are fighting for the wild card or whatever, they're going to end up losing to each other when they end up playing. Yeah. So it's going to
Jacksonville's at the bottom, and they're still going to keep chipping away at wins for the Colts and the Titans and anyone else they face.
Yeah. So it might seem a little, and I think me having my hand right on that panic button is because I'm just so confident going into this game. There should be, and I don't care how the win happens. It might look very ugly depending on what's going on back there. I do not care how they win.
Are you expecting some prolific passing game from Bailey Zappe, or you're confident it's just run?
So my confidence is very strong because of my game breaker this week. Ramondre Stevenson. I know you picked him before. I'm picking him this
last week.
I think he is going to have, and normally I would pick Damian Harris, but I just think
it's the same reason why I picked Ramondre for this past game. It's like, all right, Damian is going to eat. He's had a touchdown 3 straight games.
Yeah.
If we are going to have a dynamic run attack, we need a strong contribution from Ramondre. That's either a touchdown or the 4 catches for 23 yards that he gave us in last game. Like 4 catches for a running back is pretty damn good. Austin Eckler gets like 5 a game. And he's one of the best pass catching backs.
Oh, I know. I have him in fantasy, so yeah, I know he's doing pretty well.
Me too. What a great game!
He's doing pretty well. He's doing pretty well. I am immediate take back my take. I'm picking Damian Harris just because you picked Ramondre Stevenson last week. I don't want to pick the same one this week. I'm going to pick Damian Harris. I think he has a touchdown. And he goes over 100 yards. I think that Stevenson still has a good game, 60 yards or so. Maybe he gets a touchdown as well. I don't know. But I feel like this is going to be another one of those games where the Patriots just pound the ball. Time of possession is going to be crazy. It's going to be like 2-1 at the end of the game. Like the Patriots are going to own time of possession. You need to win this game because the next game you have the Browns in Cleveland. Who knows if Mac Jones comes back for that, which I don't think he should. I'm going to make my prediction now. I think Mac Jones comes back for the Bears game, October 24th at home. It's a primetime game.
That's the game after the Lions?
That's the game after it goes Lions, Browns, then Bears. Lions, Tigers, and Bears. Yeah, because I think that maybe he can come back against the Browns, but I feel like it's one of those things where Bill just being super cautious, gonna kind of hold him back, depending on how the Lions game goes. If he's confident with all that stuff, I think they sit him down. I think he comes back against the Bears, but I think regardless of when Mac Jones comes back, Patriots beat the Lions. I don't know the score. Don't really care what it is. Just it needs to be a win. We need to get back in the win column. We said this same exact stuff last year against after we lost to the Bucs. The same thing. We need to get back in the win column. I want to know how it feels like to win again. Losing sucks. All that stuff. So I don't know who my game breakers, Damian Harris. I think he's gonna, like I said, over 100, have a touchdown. Patriots win. We all feel good. Bailey Zappe, I think he'll have a good game though. I think he'll have an efficient game.
That's why I'm leaning towards him as my very bold game breaker. Where I'm expecting an extremely efficient game once again, because 10 of 15 is nothing to sneeze at. I am thinking that he gives us 2 passing touchdowns, no picks, and takes care of the ball. Probably under 20 attempts is what I would definitely say. That seems like my safe bet. But I think it's going to be one of those things where you run the shit out of the ball, get to the goal line, and then throw them off for some passes. I think Bailey Zappe, this is all pending if he's a starter. Like we said, I don't think Hoyer's coming back. No. If Hoyer starts, then he very well will take the place and be my game breaker. Whoever the quarterback is going to have to put on a masterclass of efficiency. Because this is not a good defense. This is a shit defense. So if anyone can go in, it's our third string, 4th round rookie.
Yep. I agree. So yeah, I like that though. I would love that. If Zappe has that type of game, the Patriots win. There's just no way, because there's no way that the Lions are going to be able to throw on this defense or really do much of anything other than run the ball against this defense. You're not going to beat them just running, because even the Packers needed some Aaron Rodgers magic to beat them. Even though they ran for like $190 or something like that, something crazy. But there's no way the Patriots will beat the Lions. We'll be back in the win column, 2-3 going into the Browns game, which we'll talk about that too. Feel confident going into that as well. So especially if Mac Jones is back, even though I don't think he will be. But yeah, also last thing we'll bring up, we just mentioned it a little bit before. No need to really talk about it because it's happened 4 times before or 3 times prior. Welcome back, Jamie Collins.
Yep. Pleasure to have you back on board.
I got nothing to say. Maybe could have been bold and pick Jamie Collins as my game breaker for this week, but who knows? Could have been. That'd be nice. So
I have one more closing statement.
Let's go.
And I know you're going to love this. And I'm sure you lit up when this happened.
I probably did.
The glory moments of last year's Patriots are back. Kendrick Bourne had an end around, and he got his usual 15 yards.
He did. Now we didn't win. So, but still, We're back in the game. I saw that and I left out of my seat. I saw him in motion. I was like, could it be? Could it be?
I know.
Are we going to get it? And he got it. And
Yep.
like he got it, and immediately I looked away. I was like, yeah, no, this is going to be good, guys. Don't worry.
First down. You're like, I'm going to get another beer. First down, baby.
This is going to
I know how this goes.
Yeah.
I've read this book before.
Yeah. I know how this one ends. First down. Simple as that. Wherever the first down marker is, it's a first down. So give me more of that. Give me more. And also, little T's, don't know if it's going to happen. Tyquan Thornton.
Yes.
Rookie wide receiver. Depending on if he practices this week, he's eligible to come back. So who knows what the offense is going to look like with him back here. I would love to see him in there, but I don't think so. I think that's a couple week down the line thing.
I don't know if Bailey Zappe could take advantage of what he has to offer. So I would be holding out to see what he can do with Mac, who's now apparently almost too willing to throw it down the field, but that's fine.
That's fine. I mean, I guess this Thornton dude is like Tyreek Hill fast. So like, I'm fine with that. You want to just chuck it up, just past everybody and he'll just run under it. I'm down. I'm ready for it. But Lions game, I feel like we'll be coming into next week's podcast happy after a win.
I think so.
We'll finally, be able to not drink ourselves into sadness after a Patriots game. We'll be able to, watch the rest of the games with glee and hope that we get more news about Tom Brady having a divorce. So for Liam McDade, I am Mike Sullivan. This was Tuck Rule Takes, the Ronnie Perkins episode. See you next season, Ronnie Perkins. See you next week, hopefully after a win. Let's go.
Who hurt you? Ronnie Perkins did.
Ronnie Perkins and the Eagles did.
Fly goes fly. Sweet feet.
Sweet feet.